So the premise of this whole tutorial is I like to be as lazy as possible when doing renders. Okay, I guess lazy isn't quite the correct terminology, but if making art was an equation, here's how I would optimize it. So theoretically, the more I can speed up my process, then the better the art becomes. And a large part of this is having the computer work for me, which is why I don't draw these things. Ideally, I would love to spend hundreds of hours writing a script that I just press go on and it thinks for an hour and then spits out a cool image, but yeah, I'm not there yet. All right, deep thoughts over. Displacement is a great way of getting the computer to make cool things. You start with some base geometry, add some subdivision, apply the displacement modifier with some cool texture, and it shuffles the mesh around. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, and don't forget to... Okay, in all seriousness, this is 99% of what these weird objects are. The main thing to fiddle with is the texture, as that has probably the largest effect over everything. So try different types of noise, or maybe a different texture. There's some pretty cool ones in here. That one kind of looks like cheese. Some other fun things to play with are your mid-level and strength on your displacement modifier. These are a bit like brightness for mid-level and contrast for strength. That's at least how I think about it. Also, if you switch the direction to Z, it's pretty cool. Add a twist. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so the next use of displacement I'm going to cover is image displacement. My favorite use of this is creating semi-realistic terrain. First, we're going to head over to a site named terrain.party. And this allows you to download accurate height-map data for nearly any location on Earth. We're going to drag this over to the center of America, because there's some cool stuff over here. I'm going to switch it over to this shaded relief because that shows us kind of the height map, and then increase our box distance. Find an interesting place. Download it and give it an interesting name. The height map downloads as an image, which is exactly what we want to plug into Blender to create our displacement. So hopping back into Blender, we're going to add a plane, and from here on the process is very similar as creating our weird twisty object. Add some subdivision. By some, I mean a lot. Add our displace. Don't forget to shade smooth on the object. And hopping over into this textures tab, we're going to make a new texture, and we're going to leave it on image and Ruby this time, and hit open down here, and find our height map, and pow. So right now the strength is a little high, so we'll go down to 0.2. That's generally pretty good, and I will increase, as always, increase the subdivision. The more subdivision levels you have, the better it looks. And there you go. That's how you very easily create some kind of realistic geometry that looks somewhat like a landscape at this point. Okay, bonus tip. If you take a geometry node, plug the normal output into a normal node, plug the normal node dot output into a color ramp, move that color ramp to about here probably, plug the color ramp output into a mix shader, you can get some really nice angle-based material mixing. Nice.